3 hours since I applied the second coat on here. So let me show you guys what that looks like. I just got done wiping it off. So it darkened up just a little bit more. And I'm still contemplating whether I want to just push it a little bit harder and actually just grab my actual ebony stain that I have in my cupboard and just cut the BS and just keep going until I get to a place where I like it. I mean, it looks pretty good like this. It's not bad, but again, I still have the tape laid on it, and if I can just do everything right now instead of having to redo everything, because I would hate to just string it up and I'm like, I would have liked to go just a shade darker or what have you, but yeah, I'm still kind of letting this just finish drying up, and I got to kick it around. I got to think about it whether I want to push a little bit further or not. I mean, it looks good in person. I don't know why it looks like this on the camera, but it actually it looks really good in person. But I'm a picky son of a bitch. All us guitar players are. We're just a bunch of dickheads in our own way. We're very particular with what we like, and if I can go darker, I'm going to go darker. So, I'm going to kick it around, think about it. Well, guys, my picky ass has come out, and I decided to just cut the bullshit, and I just decided that I'm going to pick up some classic black stain. Now, I've run into this before talking to some people as far as staining some of these rosewood fingerboards, depending on how light or how dark they are to begin with. That can dictate just how much it's going to darken, when you apply the stain. And you guys probably have seen in many videos, I'll even post a picture. I can't quite remember if I overlaid any like the before with this, but I'll be sure to do that in this video. This was a very, very light fretboard. One of the ugliest ones I've ever seen. Actually, I probably said it a million times. I got my point across that I just didn't want to look at this shit no more. So, yeah, this is just not darkening as much as I had hoped for. I've had much better results on other fretboards that I've done. So what I decided to do is just, cut the BS, and I got a classic black stain, and I'm going to apply that and just get this thing as dark as possible, because, I mean, the camera's not picking it up. It really does look pretty good in person, but again, I don't want pretty good. I want I want something. I want to make sure that I'm happy with this. So I'm going to crack this can open, and I'm going to apply some of this classic black and see what kind of results I end up getting. So I'll make sure I share that with you guys. I guess sometimes I just can't help myself when it comes to guitars and what I like and what I don't like. So I figured everything is still applied on here. All the prep work is done. I don't want to have to do it all over again. Just want to make sure once it's done and I'm happy. So that's what we're going to go with. Yeah, on my face. So just got a cheap chip brush. And I'm going to make sure that this is nice and stirred up properly before I go applying that. I don't know what the hell this is, but it looks perfect for stirring this shit. She looks like a manly looking toothpick. So I did shake it pretty good before I fired the camera up. But just going a little bit extra mile just to make sure this is nice and mixed together before I go applying that. All I can do is hope that this gives me the results I'm after. My picky ass. All guitar players picky asses. That's what's funny is this looks just like the ebony. Doesn't look any different. But again, I got another container that's just going to last me more than a lifetime. Because it's like you do one dunk and you can pretty much damn well do the whole fretboard. This stuff just spreads so far. You guys, many of you might ask this in the comment section, so I'll just answer for that right now. You guys are probably going to ask if this ends up staining the inlays permanently. So far, the guitars that I've done, I have not had a problem with that whatsoever. It wipes right off of it. Same thing with the frets. Comes right off, no problem. So I guess maybe it would depend on the nature of the inlays, quite possibly. But as far as all the fretboards again that I've done, I haven't had that issue at all where it's stuck on there permanently or I have a hard time removing it. So it should not be an issue for you guys either. At least I can only hope. But at the same time, some of you guys out there that are dicks, I hope you do fuck your fretboard up. And I hope you have such a bad day you shit yourself. You get bad diarrhea. Kevin Frasard don't have haters. They don't exist. What is there to not like about me? I think I'm pretty fucking cool. I just want to play guitar and pick up very heavy weights at the gym. What's wrong with that? Okay, it's covered, and just a little. I'm gonna let it soak just a little more, and then I'm gonna wipe the excess off. Jump my ass in the shower because I'm all sweaty, and if I gotta apply another coat, I gotta apply another coat. So let's see what happens. So it's been a couple days, guys, since I got back to this thing, and here's what I ended up doing. So I'm in the home stretch of everything right now, just putting the finishing touches on. So right now I'm just kind of cleaning up the board here. Had a chance to let everything soak in. So I'm just kind of taking my microfiber and just kind of wiping it back and forth just to get that little sheen off of there. But what I ended up doing in the end was that ebony. I've seen messages and I've heard it just a lot of it depends on the nature of the rosewood that you're dealing with. Now this one put up a serious fight. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it was a combination of it just being a much lighter rosewood than the other ones that I've dyed and had no problem using the ebony stain. Maybe there was a little bit too much oil in it. The other factor could have been, which I don't think it was necessarily this. So I did use a little bit finer, actually quite a bit finer grit to sand it down to get that sheen off of there. And it did, I was actually bringing up sawdust and everything. Just my whole train of thought was I didn't want to use too aggressive of a sandpaper or sanding block or anything like that like I did before, because it just, and you got to keep, gradually changing your sandpaper or just the grits over and over and over. It just turns into a much bigger job. So I was just trying to cut down on time, but ultimately I still got punched in the dick for this one, especially this fretboard. This one definitely, put up a lot more of a fight than I would have thought. But what I ended up doing in the end was it just wasn't taking the ebony color properly. And nothing to do with that marker. I mean, you can get pretty close, if not, fantastic results with that marker. So it wasn't really that. It was just the nature of that rosewood, that particular light colored fingerboard that was on there. So I ended up going with this classic black. That way, it was going to be like a slam dunk once I actually dyed it, because I did go back and I tried using my ebony stain and it was like the very same color, tone, everything as that marker. So, I mean, it was okay, but like I told you guys in the video, I'm very picky, and I'm sure a lot of other guitar players, musicians are just as picky as I am, if not more. So when I say I want this shit black, and that's what I meant, I wanted it like pitch black. So I finally got there with it, and I just had to pull out Daddy Big Guns and just go with the classic black. The ebony just wasn't quite cutting it. So yeah, again, I've heard that happens sometimes with them, but finally got this bitch ass to cooperate and do what I'm freaking telling it to do. So yeah, like I said, I'm just getting rid of that shine, just kind of buffing it out. Then afterwards, go in and clean up where those inlays are. They're under there. They're kind of hard to see right now, but that will come right off with a little bit of mineral spirits. Just a very, very careful, just real precise hand, just trying to buff that out of there. So like I've never had a problem with it. I mean, some people have said that it can possibly stain them and everything. I haven't had a problem with it staining it. It usually comes right off. One quick thing I want to point out to you guys, if any of you ask, whether you end up running into roadblocks like I did with this one or not, you are going to get this pooling right around the edge of the frets. That just does happen when you go to do this. So I'm going to show you guys real quick how I'm taking care of that. Now, what I've been doing just to get rid of that sheen is to, I'm rubbing with the grain, just going across this way. But when I get into this part, I just kind of lightly go across, because if you go too aggressively, you'll start getting down to the rosewood. You know, it'll start lightening up on you. So let me show you guys. Hopefully that stays in focus. You can see. I'll whip around over here, like this one right here, you can see. So if I just lightly go like this, need a bit of patience because you got 24 frets. You got to do 2 sides, so you got 48 repetitions. That kind of sucks, but once this is done, it's all worth it because you don't have to worry about puking anymore when you look at your ugly fretboard. This shit was just driving me freaking crazy. So yeah, so I just go lightly like this. Try to get my fingernail underneath there. And I'm just trying not to push down too hard. Okay, once that goes away, then I'll go with the grain again. Back and forth, back and forth. And once you put the strings on and you know you're a good few feet away from the fretboard, you're never going to see any of this. So, yeah. A little bit here. Then obviously I'm going to polish the frets and everything before it's all said and done. But this is kind of like the tedious BS that you got to kind of deal with as you're doing this. Just nice and easy. Take your time. Go this way a little bit too. Okay, something like that I can live with. So yeah, I'm going to keep going all the way down the frets. Well guys, I finally made it. I finally got it completed. As you can see, the tape is gone. So that means that it's time to just put those little final touches on there. I don't know why this camera is making this shit look so freaking dirty, but it really does not look like that when you're right up close with the guitar. I do have to just kind of go in and clean up the frets just a little bit more. Like a little bit of the gunk is still kind of on there. But what's funny is, like, yeah, the camera, I don't know why it's making it look like as shitty as it is, because it really isn't like that right now. It looks freaking beautiful, like in person. It really does. I'm really happy with the way it's turned out. Even though this cocksucker definitely put up a huge fight. But I got it. And as you guys saw in that previous clip, I was just taking a Q-tip and very carefully just got to get really meticulous and just to get any of that stain that was on there off of there. It's not too bad. You got to be just carefully dab it and just kind of like just turn it around. Give it the spin technique, whatever you got to do. Just real tedious BS. Even sometimes you got to go in there with the toothpick and just kind of scrape around it and what have you. But no, this thing turned out freaking fantastic. I'm really happy with it. This is exactly what I was looking for. But yeah, so the next thing is going to be, obviously, I got to put my hardware back on up here, and after I clean the frets and shit like that, put the strings on there, intonate it. I'm going to keep it in standard B tuning because that's how it sounded great when I first got the guitar, and I don't want to possibly jeopardize, like, tune it down and then all of a sudden it's not what I was looking for. I mean, I could go a half step down, you know, get some of that classic Morbid Angel shit going, but I think for now, I got a 10 to 56 or 59 set, whatever I got laying around. I'm going to string it up and, yeah, see what kind of brutality I can get on this. So, yeah, this guitar will be in future videos just like the other ones that I got. And they always pop up from time to time, depending on what I'm doing. But,
thank you guys so much for watching part 2 of this video and getting a good laugh at some of the bullshit I had to go through with this one, because this one definitely was a cock smoker. But no, it's all good to go now. Just got to put the strings on and I'll end up rocking it out like all the other ones. So thank you guys once again for coming to the channel. Appreciate it. Take care.